All right, we have ironed our fabric. Now we are going to cut out our pieces. And there is two ways that you can do this. So the first way, I'm going to take my white fabric. Let me move my red off to the side for right now. And I have my scissors and I have a pencil. You are going to fold your fabric over on top of itself and what's called finger press. Then you're going to take out your paper pattern that you have cut out with the scissors, and you're going to place it onto the paper pattern. Onto your fabric, I'm sorry. Turn it this way. Now you will note that your paper pattern has some words on it. So this is the teen size mask, and you are going to cut 2 out of fabric A and cut 2 out of fabric B. So this just means your inside and your outside fabric. So we're gonna start with the inside fabric. And I placed my pattern down, and then I'm going to hold it down with my fingers. You can also use a phone to hold it down as you work if you'd like. And I'm just going to trace around the edges lightly. And you'll see that I'm kind of using a sawing motion rather than just pulling my pencil, because it helps make the mark and not move the pattern as I go. You could also do just like dashes. And then maybe connect your dashes, go back down. And then you are going to do the curve here, being careful not to move the pattern as you go. You could also, if holding it is hard, you could also pin down the pattern if you'd really like. The only reason I don't always recommend this right away is because, as you can see, it kind of puckered up the fabric, and we're dealing with so little fabric that can kind of throw you off whack. So I have traced my pattern onto my fabric. Now I have 2 layers of fabric here. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to, keeping the fabric down flat on the table, I am going to cut to my line, and I'm cutting through both layers at once, and I'm going to carefully cut down the line. You do not want to lift your fabric off the table. Fabric is not stiff like paper can be, so it flops all over the place. So you want to keep it nice and flat. I'm bracing it with my hand. Now I am left-handed, so you will brace it with your left and cut with your right if you are right-handed. I'm bracing with my right and cutting with my left. And I am just cutting carefully along that line as best I can. And I'm going all the way, cutting all the way to each line. Okay. And there are our 2 liner pieces, or fabric B. Should look like that. All right, put that to the side. Next, the other way you could do it, and since this fabric is darker, I grabbed a white pencil, and I'm going to do the same, only this time I'm not going to fold my fabric. I'm going to leave it 1 layer. And I'm going to place, let's go this way. You should always kind of be mindful how you place your fabric. Now this doesn't have any direction or anything. The flowers are kind of just scattered, so that doesn't matter too much. But I'm going to place my pattern down, and I'm going to do the same thing with the white pencil. And I'm going to trace around. By not dragging the pencil will pull the fabric a little bit. So you want to make sure that you're keeping that fabric nice and still and kind of just zigzagging, or, scratching your, so that might be hard to see, but it is on there. I can see it. So I have 1 traced, and then but I need opposite pieces. So I have to flip. So this one is drawn with my pattern with the ink up. If I do it this way, I'm going to have to flip my pattern so that the ink is down. So that way I have one that'll be left side and one that will be right side. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Now I'm not too worried about grain for this one, meaning the weave of the fabric. And like I said before, the pattern is kind of obsolete. So again, it's hard to see, but it is there. I traced around it. And now I'm going to cut out, following the line, going past the line, and then coming in and going up the other line. So you want to go past the line. Get rid of that excess. Past the line, and then cut each side off. All right, so now I have a left and a right, this way, a left and a right to my mask, both a liner and my front fabric. And that is cutting out the pattern.